The president in a jovial mood, surrounded by key Democratic lawmakers who ensured the legislation would see the light of day and become law of the land, providing some $369 billion to combat climate change, the most significant investment in U.S. history.
It's going to offer working families thousands of dollars in savings by providing them rebates to buy new and efficient appliances, weatherize their homes, get tax credit for purchasing heat pumps and rooftop solar, electric stoves, ovens, dryers. It gives consumers a tax credit to buy electric vehicles or fuel cell vehicles, new or used. And it gives them a tax credit of up to $7,500 if those vehicles were made in America.
The bill does several things, key among them making a historic investment in the energy sector and towards combating climate change. It lowers healthcare costs and allows the government national health insurance program known as Medicare to negotiate drug pricing for the elderly for the next decade. It closes a tax loophole used by the wealthy and enhances tax enforcement while seeking to reduce the country's deficit by some $300 billion. And with the president's approval hovering at around 40%, hope that this legislation will be a shot in the arm for Democrats.
With this law, the American people won and the special interests lost. The American people won and the special interests lost. And let's be clear. In this historic moment, Democrats sided with the American people, and every single Republican in the Congress sided with the special interest in this vote. Every single one. In fact, the big drug companies spent nearly $100 million to defeat this bill. $100 million. And remember, every single Republican in Congress voted against this bill.
The Senate first passed the legislation but required Vice President Kamala Harris to break the 50-50 tie for passage under budget reconciliation, which requires only a simple majority, with the House also voting along party lines in a 220 to 207 Democratic majority.
This is historic because every member in the House and every member in the Senate, Democratic member in the House, Democratic member in the Senate, voted for this legislation. To lower prescription drug costs, to lower health care costs, to reduce the deficit and paid for, to lower inflation, to save the planet. And every single Republican in the House and in the Senate voted against it. How could they vote against lowering prescription drug costs? How could they vote against helping families with their health care costs? How can they vote against the planet?
Republicans called the measure reckless.
Amazingly, Senate Democrats are misreading the American people's outrage as a mandate for yet another reckless taxing and spending spree. Democrats have already robbed American families once through inflation, and now their solution is to rob American families yet a second time. Democrats want to ram through hundreds of billions of dollars in tax hikes and hundreds of billions of dollars in reckless spending. And for what?
A battle for ideas and ideologies that both Democrats and Republicans hope will boost their fortunes in the battle for control of Congress this November. Sherman Bricepies, SABC News, New York.